and then having a bunch of undead turn towards him. And then yelling, "Oh no,
Oh no!
I'm a genius. Oh no." Hey, Paulina, guess what?
What?
Rita, it is currently a size
What?
turn.
Oh. 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 Can we get some battle music?
Oh, yeah, that.
It's like
I got a good one.
Some
echoing
Wu-Tang
voice.
on there.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Does a Psy? I don't remember. This is stressing me out. Does she have currently anything happening on her? Like, does she? Oh, jeez. I don't remember if she
Currently,
has like
you
active
have
spells or anything.
Holy Aura on you, which
What is
gives you
that?
first fast healing 3 and makes you kind. Oh no, this is not Holy Aura. This
What?
is
I don't think she has this spell.
no, the Dusty Aura thing. The thing that is making you immune to crits.
Oh.
Okay, hey,
Yeah,
I have
yeah, what's that thing called?
I have something that's a bit metagame to ask, in that it's essentially me asking something that happened last week
Particle form.
that I should have probably noted. But
Mhm.
I remember both Batfire and Akio are having trouble fighting these skeletons. Is anybody else having a hard time fighting these skeletons, or did they figure out how to deal damage to them?
I'm not
Within,
remembering.
yeah, because
Alina did punch a skeleton a bunch of times and didn't do very much to it. However, the two-headed skeletons you seem to be fighting, and while two of them were healed by one of the sepulchral viziers, you were able to damage them, even though your damage was reduced by the skeletal damage reduction. You know, your sword sort of went through the little slots between the bones.
Yeah. I just want to make sure, because if there's something I could improvise on the spot here, considering that there's a lot of them and reduced damage is a good deal.
Well, you can't improvise anything when it's not your turn, so we return back to Asai.
Yeah.
Okay, particle form is
Thank you.
round per level situation.
Yes, and that is currently on everybody.
Yes, so I can cast something else that is not that. To double check this again. One of these was a swift, and I forget what it was. I remember, so I have it on hand. It's useful. Jeez. It's a lot of spells, you guys.
Oh, right.
Grace. What's that one? Okay. Oh my goodness. She will cast a spell that is double check this is the right one. Oh my god. Angelic Aspect Greater on herself?
Oh.
Where are her spells? I don't even remember how freaking spell slots work. This doesn't make sense in the sheet, so I'm gonna just write them down so I can keep track of them. It's a... what the heck level? I don't know. 8th level spell. She's 3rd level. Okay. Okay. She gains low light vision, dark vision, damage reduction 10 against evil, immunity to acid, cold, petrification, resistance to electricity and fire 10, +4 bonus saves against poison. That's true speech stuff. She can fly.
Whoa.
Yeah. She also has a protective aura, which is cool, and so she flies. It gives her a 60-foot fly speed.
She turns into an angel of death.
Basically, she becomes a cool, dark death angel with like silvery gray, cool-looking wings, I guess.
That's so cool.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah.
And with her 60 feet, she's gonna fly up like... Okay, wait, what's the range on the other thing? 20 maybe? Is it prayer? Or no, Oh, that's actually better than I thought. Yeah, she'll fly up 20 feet and then fly towards the melee to give this the ruler to give her friends some benefits.
Nice.
Yeah. Or let's say she's only 15 feet up, because I think that makes sense math-wise, maybe. Oh god, math is hard. Can she just hover over Backfire?
Hey
Okay.
there.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, it is okay. I don't have a way of actually. Yes, I do. 1.5. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. And so okay. I'm not gonna go back to this thing. Oh jeez. Protective aura provides a +4 deflection bonus to AC and a +4 resistance bonus on saving throws against attacks made or effects created by evil creatures to anyone within 20 feet.
Nice.
Yeah. So how far down would she have to be for like Akio and Logan to be within?
It's a 20-foot aura, yes?
Yeah. So
Um.
if she's up in the air, I don't know how things work.
Well, it's a sphere
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah.
You are, at present, the hypotenuse of 10 and 15. Quick Pythagorean theorem
What are you doing right now?
calculator. Okay, so
Everything
if
should
A
just be
equals
cubes.
10, B equals 15, then we need C to equal 18. So currently Akio and Logan, or currently Akio is in your aura, and so is Badfire and Logan.
Oh wait, should Logan be in this? I'm not hurting him by being near him, am I? No, because it's just
No.
a deflection bonus and an AC thing that I'm giving him.
Logan feels weird.
Cool.
You've killed him.
I
But yes, you are good.
don't know. Cool.
Okay,
I think that's all she can do.
moving on, we come to the Boneyard's turn, the giant amalgamation of human bones formed and compressed into the shape of a long draconic form. It is going to fly over to here and is going to use its summon skeleton ability again over here. Asai and Akio and Logan and Batbayar. Behind and beneath you, you hear a clattering as more bones begin to collect themselves, skittering over the floor, rolling over each other, and conglomerating into a similar shape to the original boneyard. Similar, but not the same. As finally, after a few moments, a titanic bone snake
Uh-oh. Bone
form.
snake.
Well, I don't have to worry about being bored.
I've seen that art somewhere before. I don't remember where though.
If you had to guess, it appears to be a giant anaconda.
Ah,
Oh, now I'm afraid.
good.
I'm really scared of anacondas. Irrationally so.
Well, this one's
Boneyards
dead,
is a
so
problem.
that's not too bad, is it?
No.
Yes.
I bet all I have to do is think about Ice Cube.
However, that is the end of the Boneyard's turn. The Anaconda will need a... Oh wait, no, the Boneyard stuff are summons. They all go on its turn. So these three big dudes are going to sort of maneuver like this. This last large skeleton is going to... The Etten skeletons are going to maneuver as such to begin punching and kicking and flailing at Pascal and Batfire, as this other one moves over here to get a new line of sight to throw a javelin of bone at Asai because she's flying. And that's attractive to throw things at.
Is there anything? I guess not.
What is Batfire's AC?
I want to say 28. Let me confirm this, please. Oh, and I opened up Oculus. I really wish I could open up multiple windows. Oh, I can. There's gotta be a reason why I don't use this. Alright, I'll just pop them out. Give me a second.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Defense is... Oh, 25. Who's got the 28? Is it Akio?
Probably. Akio's smaller and more dexterous.
26. Don't know where that number came from. Alright.
Or you're just lying to me. I don't know.
No, 25 26.
Okay. Akio and Pascal are both able to easily defend themselves from the wild and awkward swings of these skeletons. However, the third skeletal giant will throw a javelin at Asai and miss it entirely
Yay.
as it goes flying off into the mountains.
You didn't kill Asai, pal.
However,
I'm not. What?
the giant anaconda is now here as well, and Asai is easily within its reach.
I'm in the air.
You're 15 feet up
Yeah,
the ground.
but that's still his reach. Yeah.
It
Aw,
itself
Dang.
takes up a
It
20
is
foot.
big,
Oh, excuse me,
yeah.
it is bigger.
It's big.
That's
No!
It itself is has a 20-foot space and it has a 20-foot reach. So yes, its three-dimensional threat zone is actually quite substantial. It is going to try and bite Asai.
Okay.
Oh, that rhymed. It wasn't planned that way, but it did.
Wow.
Asai, what is your AC again?
It's 27, but she's got a lot of bonuses.
True.
Um.
Angelic Aspect might actually add on to it right now.
That's what I'm trying to parse here. Damage reduction. Specific. I mean, she got +4 deflection bonus to shooting. How much deflection does she have? 2. Deflect doesn't stack, right?
Nope.
Okay, so 27 becomes 29.
Oh,
It's 29.
okay. The anaconda just barely misses. Asai, you have to pull your foot away from it as it snaps around where it was a moment before. You are safe for now, but just.
Good.
And with that, Sada Ryudo, it is your turn. Sada, you've had the shit beaten out of you in the last turn.
Yes. And I can't really get to any of the Council of Arrogance, or whatever the fuck they call themselves.
The Tribunal of Arrogance.
The Tribunal of Arrogance, yeah. So I'm just gonna go help Pal for now, just to keep it simple for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I go here.
Okay.
Probably provoke AOO,
More
but
damage.
What is your AC?
I see. Actually, wait. Can I just? I can use acrobatics to try to tumble through, can't I?
Actually, it does not make an attack of opportunity against you.
Oh, okay.
So, make your swing.
All right, I will. Let me turn on power attack. There we go. How's it? Currently suffering from -2 energy drain as well, so not the best, but yes. Okay, let me find my... Boom.
Okay. Alright. Sada, you take your blade and slash it across the back of this awful undead. The damage slicing through the bones. Make a will save, please.
And let me just roll a sneak attack as well, but also let me make my will save.
Mhm.
There we go.
Okay. The slash. You hit this thing convincingly, nailing it across its back, causing many bones to shatter. But even as it does so, it seems to just reknit itself in quickly right after. It doesn't even seem to turn towards you in interest, focused entirely on Paulina and the rest of your party. You are invisible after all. Okay. Argomas will go. Argomas, who you don't know where he is. Okay. Behind you, Sada, as you are fighting, you do see Argamas pass out of the fog, facing
Okay.
towards you. He then holds his hand out to you, and 3 gloom-blind bolts fly through him and towards you. I need you to make another will save.
Okay.
Okay. Sada, you saw the gloom-blind bolts fly through him and towards you. Literally through him. They went through his, from the fog behind him, through his arm, and out of the
okay.
outstretched hand towards you.
It's a fake then.
You suspect,
Yeah.
or rather you know, in that instant, that he is an illusion. His
Yeah.
form wavers and is indistinct. However, the gloom-blind bolts are very real. Your armor class is your AC against touch is pretty good, but not quite so good as those first
19.
2 rolls. But the last one goes wide, flying off into outer space.
Okay.
You need to make 2 reflex saves.
All right.
As you take 27 strain from the from having to dodge the remaining bolts. Ooh, that last one is close, but you did it.
All right. How much should I take again?
27 strain.
All right.
Kasumi, it is your turn.
Okay. I cannot control my fire clone.
You can't?
I cannot.
Well, why not? Okay, now you can.
She's gonna 5-foot step over there, and then she's going to, as soon as the page will actually stop being frozen. Oh, not responding. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Just sort of sounded like an Imperial alarm there.
Yeah. Wow. This is the first. I just opened up my page, and restart Chrome. Just gonna close that out. I'm gonna open up everything I had again. Okay. Now, let's try this again.
I believe in you.
Hey, it's working. And she's
That's what
gonna fire
happens.
a fire blast at the big snake. Now that's versus touch, so I'm pretty sure it probably hit.
Nah.
Wow.
The snake.
You hit the big snake?
They hit the big snake.
Alright, the big snake is blasted.
The bitch snake.
Big snake. Fire smashes into the side, sending many bones flying. However, it is still intact.
And then Kasumi's gonna just fly up in the air with her flame jet because it's cool.
Mhm.
And she's gonna kind of move up and over. How high is this the room?
This room is higher than your flame jet. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I went over 10 feet. I'll go up 20 feet. Or no, it's half, so I'd go up 10 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna fire a hydro blast at the snake.
Flame jet moves you up to 60 feet, you know.
Oh, well then, yeah, I move up like 30 feet.
Also, I think it ignores the whole vertical movement is halved. It's not flying, it's flame jet.
That's true. I do have rockets strapped to my hands and feet.
Yep.
It looks really cool. I look awesome.
Do you want to go up the full 50 or?
Yeah. Well, no, not the full 50. I needed to be within range, within 30
Yeah,
feet
then
range.
it'll cause other problems.
Yeah.
All right. So how high up are you?
What's the highest I can maintain from that distance to hit 30 feet?
Okay, I got what you said. How far are you from the thing?
It depends on the square, but
You're
closest square is
25 feet
45.
from
Yeah.
the thing?
Yeah.
All right. You can go up to 16 feet up in the air.
Okay, I do that.
Right. Also known as 15 feet.
Okay.
More or less. This is going in these 5-foot squares. So yeah, you are now able to hydroblast the horrible thing, and your gout of water does very much the same, sending more bones flying. It is looking severely damaged, and indeed, like a quarter of it just like sort of falls off as you blast off its tail. However, it is still moving around, its jaws snapping, and as it turns towards you, you sense the inhuman malice within its dead mind. Alina, it's your turn.
Cool. This guy is fake? Did Sada let us know that?
Yes.
This guy is fake.
That guy is fake, yes.
This
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That guy is fake, apparently.
This guy, so far as we know, is real. He's been doing spells and stuff, so.
Yes.
Cool. Good.
Technically did not yell that out on her turn, but you know what? Yes, it's fine.
Apologies. How was this identified?
Sada made a will save against the illusion when
Wow.
it was used to fake an attack against her.
Good job.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
With a flurry of blows, if I were to attack someone who's up in the air, can I, like, get multiple hits off on them before I, like, fall to my doom? Like, is it a cool... Like, they happen so fast? Sort of thing? How does that work?
Yes. If you are not on a surface at the end of your turn, typically or
Yeah.
stuff like this, you fall.
You fall. Okay. That's what I wanted to know. I'm going to flying kick that guy over the void.
Okay.
Fly at him. However
You're
many
technically
feet.
passing through the space of this
Skeleton.
giant skeleton.
I hate this freaking skeleton.
He's kind of in the way.
Yeah, I've got good AC. He could take a swing. I regret this immediately.
Well, you're literally moving through space. Could you make a will save for me, actually?
Oh shit! Fuck! Damn it! I should have done like a dance around him, but then I'd waste time on a guy I don't.
I
care
have
about.
never. I did not think from you I would have the "I'm so smart, oh no" moment.
I'm a genius! Oh no! Will save.
Mm-hmm.
29.
All right. Paulina, you see the thing floating before you, and even though the skeleton is in front of you, you know you have to try and get through it. So you kick off and do a flying kick, and as you impact the skeleton, in that moment, it occurs to you, wait a second, I laid into this thing with my hands and fists a few seconds ago, and it did nothing. That never happens. I kill everything I punch. This thing must also be an illusion, and its form fades,
Damn it!
becoming
that's bad.
see-through and insubstantial.
Oh no, that's so bad. That's so bad, actually. Oh,
You mean
can
this-
I fail it on? Can I fail it on purpose?
Uh,
Or slash, can I attack something I know that is not real?
huh? Oh no, this is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm asking. Can you target something that you know is fake?
I mean, you can.
Okay, because that's sort of contingent on whether I fall to my death or not. After I make my attack.
Oh, you want to do a flying kick back
Yeah.
at the illusion
Yeah.
that you know is now
Yeah.
fake.
I can kick Sada if I really need to.
I mean, yeah,
I'll do
but
it.
then why wouldn't you just? You still know the illusion is there.
This-
Yes, you
Yeah.
can flying kick backwards. As weird as
That
that
would have been so fucking funny if that was your way you died.
Yeah. I'm so smart. Oops.
I'm a genius. Oh no!
Genius. Oh no, it really would have been.
Like, I mean, what a
Holy
way to go out.
cow.
How the number one
That's so
DPS in
funny.
the campaign, most deadly character per pound,
Yeah.
just falls to her death unceremoniously.
Oh, I think she'd be fine.
No, she
Maybe.
would. She absolutely would.
I'd probably figure it out.
You would just turn into like dust form.
Okay. I mean,
if
that
you held
takes
the
I can't do
entire
that on my
200 feet
turn.
in one round, that would be 20d6 damage. So you'd be fine. You'd survive that easy. There's like 70 damage on average.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
Hitting water, it hurt a little bit less actually.
Oh, fantastic.
So it'd be like 17d6.
Cool. I
I
don't
might
remember.
rule that your legs shatter
Oh.
into putty, but
Oh,
anyway,
no. Oh, I am hasted. That's good.
you are hasted, and you can punch this sepulchral vizier.
And I think I have electricity. But if not, I do now. And it doesn't cost me anything. Or
Okay.
it does, but it's negligible. And I'm gonna punch this, or first I'm gonna kick him, and then I'm gonna punch him. And the second punch is gonna try to be stunning fist. Never
Okay.
works, but it's gonna happen. And then, you know, I'll do my hasted one to attack the other guy. His bite.
Okay. Well, those first 4 attacks hit. Or actually, no, I forgot. These guys actually have a really good AC. 2 of those attacks hit. Your second and third attacks.
Cool. It's fine. It's not as many as I would have liked. Stunning fist. I always forget. He has to make a fortitude save. He has to beat 24.
He do. All right, his fortitude is not that good, considering that he doesn't have a con score.
I'm kind of surprised.
At 24, you said?
Yeah.
He failed. I rolled a 23.
This never happens.
Wait a second,
wait.
he's undead. He's
No.
Immune.
Wait, what? To stun?
yeah.
Okay, I think I knew that last time but forgot. Is he immune to... What are the things? I would have known. Is he immune to being fatigued or sickened or staggered? Can you stagger a guy like this? Is he
I think you
staggerable?
can stagger them, but All right, immunity to all mind-affecting effects, death effects, disease, paralysis, poison, sleep effects, and stunning. So yes, you can stagger him, but
I feel like we've been over this before, and it's been a while, so I forgot.
yes. So unfortunately,
yeah,
he is not stunned.
but he's staggered.
Oh, did you want to stagger him? Can you stagger him instead?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. As for stunning fist, I can do all those things that I listed by this level.
Okay, yeah, he's staggered.
Yeah. Wait,
You just punch him so hard that he's like flipping through the air.
Let me double check that this is the thing that procs this. Heck yeah, I punch him 2 more times.
Cool.
Because of Medusa's Wrath, or whatever it's called. Baby.
Both of those hit?
Blop blop. So that's 4 hits on this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! I called smite on this guy, right? Right?
Don't recall
last
that you
turn?
did.
Or last game? Can you guys remember if I called smite?
I don't remember.
I called smite on somebody.
Did?
I think so. Cause it's I'm pretty sure it's like the first thing I did. But I don't remember. My memory's so bad.
I didn't have it written down anywhere.
I don't have it written down either. It's fine. Which is the one that had his dick kicked off? It was the far right one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm saving a smite for him definitely, but I have 2 per day. Heck, whatever, it's fine. Jab 1, 2, 3.
18 plus 6 plus 5 plus. He is not immune to electricity, is he? No. Okay, I'll just add up the bazillion damage.
And then she does like a cool backflip kick back to the thing that doesn't exist. It goes through it or something. I don't know.
Nice.
Flying kick. 2 per level is, or 2 per
12.
flurry is very good.
Okay, you nail this the sepulchral vizier with a barrage. And yeah, he is left flipping over himself repeatedly. Not crying out in pain, but rather in frustration as he, untethered from any moorings in the air, is just unable to control himself from the vicious uppercut you gave him to his jaw.
What is it to call a smite? What's the move?
I believe it's a swift action for you at this point.
Okay, well, I can do that next turn then. Sweet.
As he goes, Pascal's turn. Pascal is going to continue his life or death struggle with this giant skeleton with 2 heads.
Hey, Mom.
He will hit the giant skeleton 3 times. Nope, apparently Pascal just had enough of this thing, because at the end of it, he is just crying out in battle as he just smashes the thing with the blade straight through the middle, cutting through bones and causing bone chips to go flying, until eventually the entire Etten collapses into a pile of itself.
Very nice.
It is now Draruman's turn. He will float over to here and go, I have not forgotten you, Neben. No death! As he stretches out a hand and fires a thin ray of negative energy towards you. What is your touch AC? He rolled really poorly, so it actually might miss.
Oh, 33?
It misses.
Okay.
As you do a cool backflip as you flying kick back to the ground and dodge it, causing him to go, shit!
I don't know why. Since you said touch AC and then he did a bad roll, the little negative energy turned into him extending his finger and Pal going, ah, no.
He will then cast Gloom Blind
Sorry.
Bolts as a swift action with his quicken spell-like ability. His first one will miss you, his second one will miss you, and his third one will hit you because he finally rolled above a 5.
Oh man.
Oh, heck.
Oh dang.
You need to make a reflex save
Ah shoot.
as you take
Darn.
11 strain.
Oh. Man. Dang. Ah.
Where is he in relation to Pal?
He's over here.
House says, ah, dang. Shoot. Owie. Ouch.
Fatfire, is your turn.
Right, this is an interesting dilemma that we have ourselves here. Between a two-headed skeleton and a giant bone skeleton snake. Caught between two hard places. I hit the snake.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright. Fatfire, you whirl on the snake and begin laying into it with your massive blade. And don't forget your hoof attacks.
Oh, okay. One moment. I'm gonna roll my hoof attack.
Should always roll your hoof attacks. It's part of your full attack.
Here comes the hoofs.
Yay! Also, they completely ignore the skeletal damage resistance because they're bludgeoning.
Hell yeah! Being part horse mattered!
Yay.
Unfortunately, you rolled a 1 on one of them, but on the rest of these, Fatfire, you just whirl around and just start smashing into the skeletal snake, and actually with that is a 46, goes down to 41. Yeah. Just with your first blow, actually, you just bring a gigantic overhand blow with your katana that just slices through the giant anaconda in multiple places, causing it to just completely fall apart and shatter onto the ground.
Right. And then I guess I glance at what,
Well, your remaining attacks, you could turn and just start wailing on this other thing next to you.
Yeah, that's what I do. Not Logan.
That makes sense. Minus. You begin to do a similar job on it, and including a nice you rear up at the end and flick one of your hooves forward, causing one of its skulls to just collapse inward at the force of the blow. At the end, it is still standing, but just barely. The bones broken and shattered in many places.
Alright.
Good job. Akio, is your turn.
I'm gonna use the new sword. I want to see what it does, but I also don't have it set up. So I guess I get my old sword back from the ribs.
Okay,
Oh.
Yep, it flies back towards you. You catch it.
Wait a second. But I assume the sword is sheathed, so to take it out is... Wait, I should have quick draw.
I believe you do.
Yeah, I believe I do too, but let me not do something I don't know if I have. Quick draw! Hell yeah! So I do that. I sheath and then pull out the other sword. I do not have this sword set up, Sals.
That's fine. It's pretty much the same as your other sword from a damage perspective. As you draw it forth, and you hear a voice inside your head.
What?
Hello! I was
Hello.
wondering when you would finally draw me forth.
Yes.
You are Akio, correct? I
Yes.
am your new sword!
Ah.
Hello!
Oh no.
Hello, you're not.
No,
You're not a. You're
I
not.
was forged by Dwante Dunn to
On
be your
a-
new blade, to augment your fanciful fighting ability, and to defend you in times of trouble, which this seems to be. I was in fact imparted with the personality of the great dragon as well, though I think he said that it seemed a little simplistic, a conversion, but yes, that's who I am, your sword. Hello!
Hello.
Do I have a name?
Let's see what you do first, and then I'll give you an appropriate name. How about that?
Alrighty then.
Oh, also, you don't hate anything, do you? Like
Not
elves
particularly.
and such? Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Last
Should
sword.
I?
No,
Oh, alright.
I don't. Yeah, last time that happened, sword got rearranged. All
Alright.
right.
Well, if you want to
Yeah.
know what I do, let me go.
I let the sword go.
It floats next to you.
Sick.
Akio's eyes light up. Your name
Come,
is.
let's fight some things together.
I pull out my other sword. Alright. Just FYI, your name is Sora. Alright.
My name is what?
Sora?
Alright.
Because flying? I don't know. I felt like it was appropriate. Is that you know what?
I
Let me-
didn't hear you.
That's cute.
Oh, Sora.
Oh. I like it. It makes me feel young. I guess I
Yeah.
am young. I was literally forged just like the other day.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go murder some skeletons.
Yeah, let's I love this. I love this. Alright. And then I guess I take I enter its attack of opportunity.
It does get an attack of opportunity against you. You are correct.
Yeah.
If this hits you, I'll be
25.
surprised. A 25?
Yes. Wait, sorry.
I thought you were at a 26.
Why am I getting like these confused? This is Pathfinder. Here is Akio's. Defense is 26.
Okay. He just barely misses you.
Oh, that'd have been really awkward. Alright. And
Oh,
then with
wait a
that,
second. No, he doesn't. Your new sword deflects it quite easily.
Mm.
Oh, cool.
Does he knock it aside contemptuously, you'd say?
Yes, I would actually.
Yes.
As your new, defending, dancing, dueling sword.
Damn it. Damn it. Of course.
Named Sora.
Sora the Flying Sword.
Flies to your defense.
But also,
Conveniently, you can just roll your dueling sword twice.
What? Oh, cool. I did whiff that first one.
But since they have they essentially fight with the same exact stats. So,
Sure, makes sense.
yeah. All right. To be honest, well, your rolls were kind of low, but you know, it happens. And this thing is not the toughest thing in the world. So together, both you and your new sword, Sora, do smash this skeleton asunder.
Oh, that felt great. Oh man,
Look at that alliteration and consonants.
welcome to the team, buddy.
Ha
Akio's gotta start thinking of like some cool sword move names.
I started doing that, and I made Akio, and then I got embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. Sword names are dope. It's peak anime.
Oh god, I also kind of like misunderstood like what I was doing when I was like, all right, so he intimidates with sword moves. Oh wait a second, no, it's like more of a like he slowly made sense in my head. Yeah, I should do that. All right. With that in mind, I guess that's my turn with Akio, and the baton passes to Lugan.
It is Logan's turn. Logan, per Jack's earlier observation, is going to fly directly up into the air so as not to be near these horrible skeleton things on the ground. because he is a smart little lizard. Now 40 feet up, he needs to cast a spell. I should open a sheet and look at them. All gone. Show us tab. Pop, pop. It loads. Given the number of objects on the field, this seems like the most effective option. Logan wields his magic, and lightning arcs between his two tiny hands. And as the bundle of clothing points down, a great arc of lightning jolts from him and into the nearest skeleton before nailing the boneyard and then jumping over to Dar Umnan, who is just in range, over to... Well, that skeleton is fake anyway. Oh, actually, sort of, it would end there. Is there a better way of doing this? Oh, and that's an illusion, so it doesn't. You can't really arc from it. 3 targets isn't so bad. You have a lot of 6th level spells. Although, actually, wait a second. Yes, that is correct. Skeletons are immune to electricity. So instead of that, he is just going to point directly at the boneyard, and instead of an arc of electricity, a thin line of green energy will fly out from his fingertips and into the boneyard. Boneyard needs to make a fortitude save. 20 plus. It has a pretty good fortitude save. Oh, actually, no, it has a pretty crappy fortitude save because it's dead. Its ability to be living is poor. It, I believe, fails. Yes, it does. So Logan does full damage to it with Disintegrate, which, for those of you not in the know, is 32d6 at this level.
Yes.
Yo.
Oh, that's a lot, you know?
Hey. Wow.
The Logan green beam hits the boneyard, sort of center mass of its giant boniness, and a big hole just disappears as bones just turn into dust. For a large length of the boneyard, it actually falls into the pile of bones beneath it, and a number of bones sort of form together to reconnect its two halves again, but it's much shorter now, as it lost a substantial amount of, no, not 11, 111, as it just lost a substantial amount of its hit points. It, however, does turn towards Logan angrily.
I'm thinking a Sai can make up that difference on her turn.
Oh, I hope not. I want to. I haven't even used any of its really cool stuff yet.
Good.
And with that, that is Logan's turn. And it is now Xanaros.
Would Meta Magic quicken, or is it quicken spell?
Oh, yes, you do have Quicken Spell. Let me see. Quicken Spell is +4, so if you would have to...
And I also asked where is Sparks and all this, because he could also cast through his familiar.
Ah, true. How are you feeling, by the way?
A bit better. I'm now finally downstairs, so I'm gonna migrate to Benjamin.
Okay.
Thank you. So.
No problem. Um, where am I? Oh yeah, you can just spend your funny Arcanist points on quickening spells.
Just get a big pool of Arcanist points and just, yeah. Then I can also eat items or other spells to add back to that pool. So.
Right, and there's no limit governing the.
As far as I know, there isn't a limit in terms of how many points I can spend per. It's just dictated by how many actions I have. So you can let me look that up real quick just to double check.
Okay, so the Arcanist exploit you are using is Greater Metamagic Knowledge to gain. Exchange this amount of feet for another metamagic feat as long as they. Okay, so you still need to. So this exploit gives you the metamagic feat. You can flip it around with what feat you have by spending Arcanist points, but I don't see where you can spend Arcanist points to actually apply the feat to a spell. So you would still have to prepare a spell using the Arcanist, using the normal abilities, or using the normal rules, which makes sense. But that's fine. So basically, you can cast any. I don't know what spells you have prepared, but logically, any fourth or third spell that you have could be cast as a quicken spell right now.
So,
I'm looking at them. So that would be. I mean, there's always the whole reliable. You do know Fireball.
I do, in fact. So, yeah, we'll cast a Fireball.
Okay. That's a 20-foot radius, not a 20-foot.
Yeah, let me see
diameter.
exactly where I would have to put that.
Paste. So where do you want this?
And the max distance on that is 120
Basically
plus whatever.
anywhere in here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Are the guys at the very end? They're not our friends, right?
No, they're scary and spooky.
All right,
these guys are at the very, very end, but those guys in the middle aren't.
Yeah,
Super
you
end.
probably don't want to blow up the people at the Dragon Altar.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
okay,
blow up
so
the
those-
monks.
So those guys are our friends. Okay.
Yes.
Where can I put this thing where I'm not going to obliterate our friends as well? Because I can't see past this. I don't know who's under. Oh, okay, thank you. Move it up one.
Too far.
And then slightly to the right.
The skeleton
Would
is
that
fake,
hit-
so don't worry about it.
Okay, but what about so that would hit the big bone worm, this guy up here, this thing right here. Would that hit or is that
No.
just
Akio's
Okay.
fine. He's just out of
Akio
it.
is fine.
so that would hit all the things that I need to for these three things.
Yep.
Just put it there.
Okay. The fire spreads out massively from the fireball as these three entities need to make reflex saves. Let me, and you should roll 10d6.
All right.
This is a DC 23. Well, the boneyard failed. Unsurprisingly, the Bone Etten failed, and as far as Drar Uman, the horrible sepulchral vizier,
Aw. Oh well.
not the best roll. Draroman will succeed as well, but you do still blast the rest of them. Draroman takes a mild amount of damage. He doesn't. He barely reacts as the fire just sort of washes over him, and he remains intact at the end. But the boneyard is blasted pretty good, as a few more bones are fried, as is this bony Ed. Good job, Logan.
And that'll be his turn.
Okay. It is now Xanaros' turn. Xanaros just got his ass handed to him by Palina. He is staggered. He is still flipping through the air and staggered, which means he can only move or take a standard action. Not being dumb, he is going to guide his flipping over to here with a move action, disappearing into the fog. And actually, he does have some speed left, so he's going to shift a little bit further. Where in the fog? Who knows? But that's all he can do. It is now Asai's turn.
Yeah. So the boneyard's still up?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like doing all right, or is it doing?
It's
terrible or
it looks
middling?
pretty damaged. If
Pretty
you had
damaged.
to put a word to it, you'd say it looked bloodied. Except it doesn't, because it is bones.
Bones. How's everybody's health? We're kind of doing okay, right? I don't think
I mean, I'm-
anybody's.
I'm
Are you
healthy,
okay?
baby.
Yeah.
Status is 70 health.
Only 70?
Yep. And I
Sada
used-
has had the crap kicked out of her by the
Yes.
sepulchral viziers when she ran up
That's
to them.
not great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely heal
let's
Sada.
see.
I also
Yeah.
have have 2 levels drained right now.
Oh,
Not
that's
helpful.
right,
Yeah.
dude. Okay.
Yeah, you're getting false King Elented, huh?
Yep.
What do we have for? I get my heal spells mixed up because there's. What like rangy heal spells are there? Are there? No.
There's so Asai can use her channel energy as a range effect. It only affects one thing, but it fires as a ray with a range of 60 feet, I think.
That's cool.
Um,
And is channel at this level, is that 9d6?
I think it's 8d6,
Is it?
unless I'm mistaken.
I thought it was like half plus 1. But maybe I'm misremembering. I'm gonna look it up too.
It is 8d6 at level 15, and then at 17 it would be 96. It goes up every odd level.
Oh? Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
Alternatively, you could use a mass cure spell, which chains like chain lightning. So you'd have to figure out how to get it to Sada, but Pascal connects to Palina, and Palina then connects to Sada. You could potentially use that to also damage the 2 skeletons, but you'd have to do that and figure out how to get the chain back to.
Can you change or chain both? I guess it's all the same thing. Like harming a thing and healing a friend isn't. It's
Yeah.
not like you have to pick.
You can do both at once.
Cool.
It's just you'd have to figure out how to get the chain there.
It's channel you have to pick, I think, right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if how many.
But in this case, I don't think you could harm the boneyard. At least
Yeah.
you'd be able to include this guy in it by going
Sorry,
like
which
this to this.
which spell was that?
This would be mass cure, whatever. Serious wounds. Or mass... I don't know if you have mass cure critical wounds.
Not sure. Let's see. Mass cure moderate, mass cure serious. Yeah, 8th level mass cure critical, but I maybe hold off on that because I think. Well, I don't know.
That's 48 plus 16 hit points you would recover.
Okay. 48 plus 16. Sure, and then let's see,
You would be able to get both Sada and this skeleton friend, and also Paulina, the little bit of damage she's taken.
okay, then I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
4d8? Oh, yeah? Wait, I just had it. And you just said it, and my brain's already done. Shit.
48 plus 16.
Right, because it's critical. Okay, fine. Pop.
There you go. Good roll.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Actually,
Hope
you
that
just
helps.
blast this. Well, actually, wait, no, it does get a
Oh.
will save.
Oh, okay.
D20 plus this relatively... It is... It has... Okay, it's a D20 plus 5. Your DC is like, what, a 26?
For a level 8 spell, it's 26, yeah.
Yeah, so, wow, it actually rolled really well. It failed. So yeah, the Holy Light of Crypta blasts through this thing and just obliterates it, burns it to little ashes.
Cool. Take your 44.
Then it chains back, yep. And so does Paulina, actually.
Yeah.
So Sada and Paulina, you both recover 44 hit points. And
Nice.
Sai has done a good job.
I think she will float a little, just kind of closer to the action.
Okay.
I don't want to leave. Oh, yeah. Because we're going to be moving up, right? Makes sense. She's underneath the skeleton, but really she's over top of it.
Okay. It is now the Boneyard's turn.
Wait, the Boneyard's still alive?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The Boneyard,
Yeah,
let me
he's a
see,
skeleton. That's right.
is going to surge forth over to here. Due to its size and reach, it is able to hit Logan from here while flying about, well actually no, it's 20 feet up. So in order to hit Pathfinder, yes, he's close enough because he's right next to him. So he's in range of just everybody right now. And he is going to try and snap onto our friend Logan.
Does that provoke at all?
No, he's just biting him. It's just an attack. It's a charge attack, actually.
Oh.
I completely forgot the Boneyard was still a thing.
So as revenge, the Boneyard runs up to Logan. Logan, what is your AC? I actually may have just missed, despite having a plus 29 to my attack roll.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
I think I have your sheet open anyway. I can
Small
just
little
open it up.
Dexy boy.
Yeah, because of your various armor stacking with, and, you know, always assume that you have cast stuff like mage armor and shield and stuff.
34.
A 34.
Yep, flat foot is 29, touch is 19.
I have a plus 29 to my attack roll. I rolled a 3 for a total of 32. I am very disappointed. Because the Boneyard only has that one attack. And because I charged, the Boneyard does not do anything else.
Wait, okay, so if Logon's 40 feet in the air, what's this?
It is 20 feet in the air, and it has a 15-foot reach. And also, it has a 20. It itself is a 20-foot creature, so, or 15-foot creature. So it, without breaking my brain thinking about the spatial dynamics, yes, he is capable of hitting you. And if he wasn't, he'd just fly slightly higher.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Wowee! I'm pissed. Okay. Goddamn.
The goddamn boneyard.
Tone, play again.
Played Benny Hill.
Okay, you know what? It's you're still in its reach. It has a very high CMD. It could potentially eat you if you try to cast a spell. So how about that?
Thumbs up. Where is Sparks?
On your person.
On my person. Okay.
Yes, it's attached to your back. Buzzing.
Okay.
All right.
Does he have to, he moves separately from my turn, or does he move on my turn?
He moves on your turn.
Okay.
Sada Ryudo,
Hello.
it is your turn.
So hey,
Someone
this
give the Boneyard an attack of opportunity so I can use its really cool ability when it bites someone, please.
this thing is like a weird mist thing, right? Fog mist
That
thing?
is a cloud of mist. You can see that it is a cloud of fog, and you
Okay.
can see that the floor directly beneath it has frozen.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try an item that I always forget I have.
Hmm.
I'm gonna activate Stormlure as a command.
Stormlures call to the wind, causing a tempestuous gale.
Yes.
What?
Which surrounds me.
They
Yeah.
on command, the wearer of Stormlure is surrounded by a swirling winds for 1 minute, granting 50% miss chance against all ranged attacks.
Mhm.
Oh no!
Yeah. And then I'm gonna see if this helps with the mist at all and charge on in there.
Are you doing a fireball ring right now? Is this a fireball ring?
Okay, so I
No,
need to
it's
change.
well, I don't know.
All right, you charge into the mist, and your Stormlure. Yeah, that's what happens when fog cloud gets hit by a powerful wind. It is dissipated.
Nice.
The floor will not unfreeze immediately. Oh, right.
Okay.
Before you panic.
Where is he? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, there they are.
The floor is still frozen. Rather than having your movement as it rapidly melts, would you just make a reflex save for me, please?
Sure. Nice.
Excellent. Okay, you're good.
All right.
You do not slip and fall on your ass.
Yeah, so yeah, I fucking go all wind mode and just fucking obliterate the fog cloud.
All right.
And then I'm going to use a standard action to, let me see here.
You can still see the fog raising from the floor, as if the spell is still there. It's just being torn away by your winds right now. So,
Nice.
so long as you're in its area, you'll be dispelling it, but it will return if you move away. Move
All
away.
right. Let's see. Where did I put that? Okay. Just remembering what my, how much burn I take away again. I think I only take one. Let me just double check though. And find my class features. Let's see here. Yes, I take away one, so yeah, it will cost me one burn. I use one burn to use my blade rush to go just a little closer so I can actually get in melee range.
Here I was thinking you were going to use Fire Whip. Okay, Blade Rush it is.
That would also work, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and would provoke
Yeah.
It allows you to make attacks of opportunity with
Sure.
your.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll do that because it's pretty cool. Because I forgot I
Okay.
had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I remember actually what how much burn that cost.
I think it's 2.
Yes, so yeah, still be 1 burn. Okay. Yeah, I turn on kinetic whip and I go and I slash at him.
Okay.
With my kinetic whip. Yeah. Let me just do-do. And go over to attacks.
All right.
And
You do not
use-
get sneak attack against this. He is not flat-footed.
But I moved. Remember, that's my scout ability.
Oh, right. When you
Yeah.
move a bunch, you
Yeah.
get.
If I move at least 10 feet around, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And there's my kinetic blade. Let me make sure there's nothing else on. Nope. Okay. Kablam.
Okay. That is versus touch, so it hits.
Hell yeah.
As-
Oh,
yeah,
and I got
you
a green.
lashed out with kinetic whip.
Oh shit! I got 3.
And-
I got 3 6s. Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
You and a 5 and a 3. Good
Yeah.
rolls.
Yeah.
You blast one of the sepulchral viziers with your flaming strike. A whip of
Good
fire appearing from nothing to lash out at him. And
Like a coiling
also-
dragon.
Yes, which remains coiled around you for the round at least.
Yes.
So yeah, 44 damage dealt to this sepulchral vizier, the middle one.
Yes.
The
And also
seeming-
now I have a Stormlore activated, which actually gives me. Hopefully, I'll work against their blinding bolts. We'll see.
50% mischance against
Yeah.
all range. Yeah, that is true. It does.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
very good. Let me make this clear that this one is an illusion.
Mhm.
So those two, you guys know, are illusions. Okay.
Can
So
we
Sada,
see this guy right here?
yes, you can.
Okay.
Sada, you are now. You have unveiled the defenses of the sepulchral viziers. The tribunal of arrogance is exposed to you. Unfortunately, you are directly in the middle of all
Oh.
3 of them.
Oh, also, can I use my Ring of Dueling Dragons once?
I see 4.
I just remember
Sure.
that. All right. So yeah, I use the swift action to finish off the turn.
Illusion.
I see.
The illusory one.
The illusory one, the one that has a mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And I am not sure if sneak attack applies to that one. Let me check. Let me check the actual wording of the scouting thing.
Yes,
again.
please do. On the bright side, you do
Yes.
hit and
Perfect.
blast.
So actually, I'll
Where
wait until my
is
turn.
it? Skirmisher. Here. Oh, yeah. That post for you, South?
Probably did. Skirmisher. Eighth level bonus, scout moves more than 10
I'm not sure what this means.
Attack action, attack deals sneak attack damage.
Might just apply to one then.
Target was flat-foot. Moves more than 10 feet in a round and makes an attack action. The attack. So normally you would only be able to make one attack action in a round, but
Yes.
the attack deals sneak attack. So if you make an attack action after moving 10 feet in a round, you get sneak attack.
Okay.
It doesn't specify a number of attacks.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, he continues to be flat-footed.
All right. Hell yeah. Boom. Not a perfectly average roll.
That's okay
Come on.
too.
Yeah.
You're being so harsh on yourself. Come on.
As the sepulchral brazier is blasted twice by your mighty flaming dragon.
Hell yeah. Oh, also, I'm gonna stop being invisible so the party knows where I am.
That's probably a good idea.
Yes. And because these guys can see me anyway, so.
Well, no, they can't.
Hmm?
But they can sense you.
Oh, okay.
They are blind.
Ah. Okay, makes sense.
However, the guy you just beat up,
Yes.
it is now his turn. He is going to float backwards after that, hissing at you.
Do I get an attack opportunity on him?
Oh yeah, he's not using the withdraw action, so yes, you do.
Hell yeah. Alright. Kerblam. Nice.
All right, that hits.
So get back here.
He's still going. He is not going to get back here. He is just going to
Get
continue
over
floating
here.
backward. Unfortunately, you cannot grapple with your cool
Alas.
fire whip. And so yeah, he does float over to there, and he is going to cast a spell upon you.
Oh no! Oh no!
He holds out his hand and casts. Yeah, he can do this 3 times a day. So he's going to fire another innovation ray at you.
All right.
He almost crit you with it.
All right.
Almost.
Well, that's a ray attack, right? So there's a chance of my miss.
Yes, there is a 50% miss chance
Yes.
somehow. Because
Somehow.
of wind.
It's a magic wind.
It is magic wind.
Yeah.
All right, you roll a d2, and you want a 2.
All right.
Roll a 1.
Is particle form still a thing?
That is true. It
Hey!
would not have been a crit effect. Okay. So yeah, the magical winds whirling around you, somehow bend the ray, and it instead strikes the wood of the railing behind you, causing it to immediately decay and slough down into the water. But you are unharmed.
Glad that didn't happen to me.
And he fires his last quickened gloom blind bolts at you.
All right. How many?
3 of them.
All right. Let's see.
All
how
3
I
of
do.
them do hit. So
Hey!
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
They are just swept up in the magical winds and sent flying off into the various points of the monastery.
Hell yeah!
The sepulchral vizier growls in frustration. Kasumi, it is your turn.
So I'm assuming the boneyard is pretty well in hand, partially because my clone's gonna move over and attack it.
All right.
3, 4, 6. Make sure that's enough range.
Excuse me.
Nope. Oh wait, I hit that corner right there.
It is 20 feet up in the air. So
Hats.
no, you cannot.
Well, okay. Well, she's gonna.
But she has spunk and a can-do attitude, so it's okay.
She's gonna move. She's gonna double move right there. And
Okay.
then she looks at Pascal, looks at Akio, and looks at Sai and gives a little thumbs up, and it looks like a little flame wick from a lighter.
Oh.
It's very cute. And
Oh.
Kasumi is going to zip and zoom right above Pal's head. So like right there.
Okay.
And then let's see, 50, 60. Gonna extended range for water blast on this gentleman.
Okay. He is looking the most injured of the 3 of them. All right. You do strike. Yes, you do strike him. He is unable. A shield of inky darkness is created before him as one of his hands extends forth, but it shatters from the sheer force of your blast. And though his otherworldly resilience does keep him from being shattered himself, he is clearly severely injured by the blow, being spun around once more. Arrgh! Stop doing that! Paulina, it is your turn.
Okay. Is
I was just giving s'mores real quick, so that's very
Nice.
exciting for me.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, got some s'mores. Thanks, babe.
Alright,
that rules?
That's okay. I'm gonna mute myself while I eat this very messy s'more.
Is this guy over here how high above the ground, or is he floating at normal height?
Draruman, this guy?
Yeah.
He is floating at floor level.
Awesome. Very cool. Is this like a fence or a wall
Railing.
border around it?
Yes.
Just a railing, just a plain old railing.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
You think it would support your weight? You don't weigh a lot.
Excellent. Yeah, I can fly and kick him from here, 50 feet.
Mhm.
And I'll land gracefully on a rail, and it'll be really cool.
Yep. Neum. I just
Oh.
the sake of being a stickler,
Smite.
I will
Smiting.
ask. You are smiting?
Yeah.
Okay. You put a smite on poor Jarroman again.
Yeah.
And as you sail towards him, he sees this. He perceives this in his unseen vision and goes, "Oh no, not again!" I need you to make. And yes,
Yeah.
you need to make an acrobatics check.
Oh, acrobatics. I mean,
No, I just got a new dick. Ah!
hey, double finger guns.
Not only is this going to be awesome, it's going to look awesome. So make your attack rolls.
Cool. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I just rolled myself. Okay. Attack.
Oh, poor
That's
guy.
a lot of numbers.
I was able to roll Pal's Fortitude, so you're welcome.
Oh. What?
Yeah. I
Huh?
clicked on where you was linked to your defenses. I just clicked Fortitude and it rolled for you.
Oh.
Yeah, and then neat.
Oh, I think that's from when Jake had played POW once. Is your did you have smite toggled?
Oh shit! I forgot I had a toggle for it. No.
All right. Well, just remind me what the bonuses are.
It says melee 2, damage 16.
Okay, so it adds +2 to hit and 16 to all your damage. Well, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that the +2 to hit does not cause your first attack or your last attack to hit. The good news is that the crit did confirm, and the 32 becomes a 34, which is his AC. So 3 attacks hit, and one of them crits. So that 16 becomes 32 damage on that. You just add this up for the time being, and you can roll your 2 those. Oh, good rolls for those.
Good lord.
And you ignore his damage reduction because you're smiting him.
Good.
So 31 plus 6 plus 29 plus... Oh wait, no, that's not 29. That's minus 29. 29, 35, 45. Right? No, I've done this wrong entirely. Let me start again. 25 plus 16 plus 6 plus... oh wait, no. I was doing it right. I wasn't supposed to count the first one because that missed. Okay. 31 plus 6 plus... Next time, use the toggle. 45 plus 2 plus... Okay, 18 plus 5 plus 32 plus 31 plus 21. 21 plus 30. You just 100 to 1 this guy when he has 212 hit points. By dealing him 221 damage. So yeah, what exactly do you do to him?
This is, he's toast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I flying kick over to him, and it's like a kick that turns into like a cool backflip, and I land like gracefully on the railing, and then it's just like punch, 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 and then just like a final kick to the ghostly dick once more, for fun.
You kick him directly up, and a portal appears above his head, and he just goes shooting up through it, and then it just
Don't
closes.
come back!
He doesn't actually say anything in return, he just makes that noise.
Cool.
So yeah, Jar Omnan, is gone.
Nice.
Walking
I still
around it.
have a haste attack.
You
and
do?
I'm gonna flying kick over to the other guy.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Ooh, you might tell 2 for 1, baby.
That'd be pretty good. Hey, yo! Flying kick. Oh man, and they're on tab. Having 2 character sheets on the screen is confusing. Hiya!
That hits.
Ha! Yeah.
Why does it do 21 electricity damage?
I don't. Oh,
Because
it's
you
adding
turned on the
the
smite.
smite to it. I'm gonna
Yep.
untoggle
This
that
guy
with
is
that.
not smited. So or
He's-
smote
oh, yeah,
rather.
he's definitely not smote. Sorry about that.
So this is only 13 damage. That is reduced a little bit further by the fact that he has damage reduction against you.
Okay.
So you do kick him, but since you were not channeling the power of Atanket to smash him into oblivion, your kick lands against his chest, and it's like kicking into a brick wall, even though his body is really quite thin and insubstantial. It's horrifyingly resilient, really, when you aren't channeling the power of a god to send him back where he came.
Oh, man. It deals 1 additional damage because of Axe to Grind.
That's true.
Always forget about that.
You dealt him after dealing 221 damage to one,
Yeah.
you have dealt a total of 9 damage to another.
Okay. I'm gonna spend 1 key point to hit him one more time, and I'm gonna try to make it a stunning fist.
All right. I will
And
enjoy my
toggle.
revenge. Ow!
Yeah.
He needs to make a fortitude save.
Yep.
As makes
Stagger
sense.
once again.
Oh my god, he's staggered again.
Hey.
He's staggered.
Yep.
I hit him 2 more times.
Stop doing this!
Ah,
Oh my god!
Yeah, come on, man.
fuck yeah! I love being a monk. Here we go.
Double crits.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rita, you've done like 300 damage in one
Yeah.
turn.
I know.
And it doesn't stop there
I was
just
being
yet.
a monk.
Yeah, he's you. How do you want to do him?
Yes. Yeah, he's like sass talking me, and I'm just gonna like punch him a couple of times in like the what's the solar plexus, and then just like once in his big fat mouth, and I'm just gonna make him like spin into the air and through a portal or whatever the heck he does.
Right. Yep, he spins up into the air, contracting in size until he finally spins into a single point and disappears, leaving only Argamas left.
Cracks her knuckles.
This is some Team Rocket shit.
Minion! Kill the Ryudo! We might
Oh, shit.
still achieve a victory here, even in failure. It's now Pascal's turn. Pascal is going to go, not if I can help it. I'm not sure why you're speaking in that voice.
Classic
Oh, wait,
Pascal
he-
voice.
He can't actually reach the boneyard. It is too
Oh,
high
no.
up in the air for him. And it would just fly over his head. So, but, however, upon hearing that, what he would do is run to get as close as possible to Sada and just sort of
Alright.
interpose himself.
And turn into a tower?
No, because he used the
Okay.
double move to get there.
Darn, okay.
He's chugging. He'll get where he's going, but it might take him a second. Vampire, is your turn.
Am I able to hit Boneyard over here?
It is 20 feet off the ground. You take up
Well-
a 10-foot space and have a 5-foot reach. So no, you cannot.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I am sorry.
Well, I guess I'm gonna go to where Sada is. Oh wait, but Logan.
Logan is 40 feet up in the air. You can even less easily reach him.
I'm floating, so you're good. Also, I'm about to play play baseball with this thing.
You're gonna be safe up there?
I worry
All
more
right.
about the floor.
Okay, well, make sure that you come home after you're done playing with your friend. Okay.
He just grins.
30 feet. And then another 30. Wait, I don't want to go into his attack range. And then I stop right next to Pow. Oh, wait, that's not Pow, that's... Wow. Feel a little annoyed with myself for getting the two
Oh yeah,
confused.
because all Anebans look the same.
I'm sick.
I'm sorry, that was a really funny response.
In my turn, because I can't exactly, like, yeah, as long as... Okay, we moved up. And then with Akio, I could chuck my... Wait, hey Sora, anything you can do about, that up there?
Hmm?
20 feet above us?
Oh, that
Wait.
thing?
Yeah?
If you get closer to it, I can stab it.
Unfortunately, I can't fly.
Well,
Did you see...
unfortunately, I can only fly next to you.
Yeah.
Climb
Did
on
you
this
see...
table.
Would that put me at range? Let's take a look.
It's a low table.
Oh. Oh well, I do see
It's
over
about a foot off the
here
ground. It's
a
meant for
skeleton that I could
television.
attack. And you know what that means? I'm gonna charge it. Oh wait, you know what? I could do this instead. Let me pull out the ruler. What? Here. And then I could just chuck my sword to here. Okay. Alright. Oh wait, what is Akio's movement speed? I always forget with him.
So those are low tables?
30 feet.
They're only like a foot and a half tall.
Hmm.
So 30 feet. And then I chuck my sword at this goat!
No one's going to say anything about this?
I was gonna say,
Nope.
didn't
Nope.
we already?
That's an illusion, Nakio.
Didn't we
Oh
already say-
shit, I'm sorry. I see the eyeball, and this guy's an illusion too.
You could just full round run, like. you
Or
know,
double
I'm
move.
here. I'll
double
double
move, yeah.
move. I'm here now. Hey guys, meet Sora.
Hi?
No.
You guys can hear the voice, right? I just want to make
No.
sure. Sora, can
No.
can people hear you?
Only my wielder.
Okay, guys, I might look crazy, but I have a talking
Akios,
sword.
you
again.
gotta stop having talking swords.
I mean, is it
He's-
a nicer talking sword than last time?
Oh yeah, he's a lot less angry. He's very happy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
I like him.
Cool.
And I've only had him I've had him since yesterday, but I only knew that he could talk 30 seconds ago. And if he died, if anything were to happen to him, Brooklyn 99 reference. I don't remember the rest of that line.
I would
Fair
murder
enough.
everyone in this room and then myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of, Logan, it is your turn.
Well, first off, I'm gonna use my swift action to expend an Arcanist point and cast, and use Maelstrom Jump, which puts a entropic shield around me, teleports me randomly 10 feet away. It says it's random. I guess it's up to the DM, or I could just pick a direction. I don't know.
I'll roll a direction for you. Are you casting this defensively?
Well, he was going to take a.
Can you 5-foot step in the air
Yes.
when you're flying? Okay, then yeah. He
Well,
It's like a little buffet.
it
to push it.
depends upon your how good you are at flying, actually. And I forget what Logan is. So if you're perfect, yes, you can, because you can just hover and just sort of whoop, 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 move like the thing in Star Wars. But if Logan,
don't have it listed.
I can look it up real fast. One second. Alright. Wyverns, base speed, have a base speed of 20 feet. In addition, Wyverns have a fly speed of 30 feet clumsy. Which unfortunately means that you cannot make a 5-foot step while you are flying, because you actually have to be constantly in movement while flying. You can't actually hover.
Okay. Well, Entropic, it just does it. Like, I don't. It just Maelstrom. It's as. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, when casting a spell triggers an attack of opportunity, you can prevent that by casting defensively, but that requires a concentration check. A concentration check you're almost certain to pass, by the way, but still it requires.
The Arcanist can open randoms, the Maelstrom.
Oh, is this not a spell?
No, this is SU.
This is an exploit.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yep.
Never mind. You're good.
Okay.
But now you need to teleport in some random direction.
Yep. That's my first action of the round.
Okay. So teleport in random direction. That will be. Oh right, you're in a 3-dimensional space right now.
Put me up here. Where?
So there are effectively 1, 2, 3, 9 plus 8 plus 9, so 18, 26 different spaces that you could end up in. Please roll a d26 while I try to keep this cube in my head.
A 22.
That looks like a 16.
Oh, what? Oh.
You rolled a d26, right? And it comes up as 16.
I was looking up. My bad.
Okay.
So yeah, that is a 16.
Okay, so it's 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay.
Oh, I was looking at the GM master
So,
rule thing.
all of that, you do not move up or down at all. You just move to 10 feet, right? You're now here. Congratulations. You're no longer being threatened by the monster.
All right. So then,
The boneyard goes. "Wah!"
Yep. And now he's covered in by an entropic shield. So, which magical field appears around you, glowing with a chaotic blast of multiple hues. What's it do? Each ranged attack directed at you, from which attacker must make an attack roll, has a 20% chance to miss, similar to the effects of concealment. Other attacks that simply work at a distance are not affected. So yeah. And he just, every time it's his turn, he just keeps randomly teleporting. So.
Hey, cool.
And it does that for 1 minute per spell level. Or 1 minute per level. So 16 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay. So for his actual move, what's the distance on disintegrate? Isn't it like 400 feet plus whatever?
With your friend all the way across?
Yeah.
He is 140 feet away from you. Plus a little because of right triangle, since he's 40 feet below you.
All right. So disintegrate. It's 100 feet plus 10 per level.
You're
Same.
almost certainly in range.
Okay.
But if you want to know exactly how far away from him, he's 145 feet away.
Okay. So between him and this big ass bone worm thing, which one looks more like it's closer to dying?
The bone worm looks substantially damaged, and actually he does too. They both look pretty bad.
They both look pretty bad.
If you can finish with the bone worm, I can hopefully finish off the sepulchre hosier.
Yep, I'll get him. So
He's going to leave sparks, right here. I can't click. He's gonna leave sparks right here.
Huh?
And then use. He has 40 feet of movement. Is it 40 foot 5? Yeah, 40 foot. So that'll put him right here. So use 40 feet of fly, put right here, and then have sparks cast disintegrate on this side.
Sparks is over here.
Yep.
Okay. Sparks casts Disintegrate. It needs to make a... Well, actually, Sparks needs to roll to hit first.
So he uses my stuff. So it's just... I need to roll hit.
Yep. You're
Load any faster.
very likely to hit.
All right, so
Brilliant.
it's just a range... No.
Range touch attack.
Range touch attack.
Don't roll a 1.
Right? Oh my goodness. I'm in attacks, so I've got...
So at the attacks, there should be... Yeah, just ranged at the top. If you just roll ranged, that'll be it.
Alright, cool.
You didn't roll a 1. Congratulations. You have hit the bone worm. Or the boneyard, rather.
Mhm.
The same thing. It is going to attempt its fortitude save to not explode. It failed. It rolled a 2. Roll 32d6 damage.
Combat's really going our way.
It really is. I thought this was going to be a lot harder for you guys when
101.
you guys really, when Sada, like, got blasted.
But then I activated wind mode when I remembered I had it.
That wind thing is like
That was pretty
absolutely
sick.
clutch. That was sick as heck.
Yeah, otherwise they were going to be their whole thing is hiding in a cloud and being a pain in the ass. And
Yeah.
you took away half of that.
As I said, Tombstone
I have bad
once
news.
again. Oh,
The boneyard is still alive.
Oh no.
Oh, what on earth?
The disintegration blast hits the boneyard and just annihilates an entire another chunk of it. Like half of, past like a third of the way down, half of its bony snake body has just disappeared, sheared off. But it's still moving. The other half laterally, just sort of wafting and creaking and crunching, but it remains
Alright. And
alive.
and for the last part of my movement for Sparks, I'm gonna put him under the table.
Sparks flies under the table because he is a smart little dragonfly. Sneaky Sparks. Okay,
That's it.
Asai, is your turn.
Man, I really wish that thing had died because now it needs to deal with it because it's on the move. So she's gonna just point a finger at it and sigh and go, "Man, really?" And
Sorry,
cast.
I tried.
Oh, it's fine. She casts the spell Bone Shatter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a
It
that seems appropriate.
Tailor made for the boneyard. I've been waiting to use this, and I have not gotten the right opportunity to crack this one off.
okay. So
Bone
this is
shatter.
the fireball moment.
The target's bones splinter, dealing 1d6 points of damage per caster level.
Okay, so it's 16.
Maximum 15d6.
Okay.
Targets the
And
Is
then
it a
if
save?
the object is made of bone, it takes 50% of that damage over again, which is so fun.
Okay.
So she
Well-
gets Bone Shatter.
Oh boy. Does it get a save?
It is a fortitude save for partial. Yeah.
Okay. It has a bad fortitude save, as
You
we've
have
been-
said that already, yeah.
I like to think Asai just kind of like raises her hand and does the
But it
whole like clutch.
rolled well.
Okay.
Asai, this is what level is the spell?
This spell is Bone Shatter. Where the heck did it go?
It's pretty high if it can go up to 15d6.
Where the frick did it? I don't think I find it in the page.
Bone Shadow is ready.
It's 5th level, AC
Okay.
23, and sub.
So AC, okay, so 5th level. So for Asai, yeah, that'd be DC 23.
23.
I actually rolled a 28 on my saving throw. I
And
don't know
it-
if that successfully saves it. So it
takes
takes
half.
26 plus an additional 13
Mhm.
for a total of 39, which is its exact number of hit points remaining. I'm not even joking.
Hell yeah,
That's
die!
incredible. And undead creatures are destroyed at 0 HP. So
Hell yeah.
with that,
So I knew exactly what it needed to make it just leave this plane forever.
Asai casts a spell, and the boneyard just starts rattling, and it appears to realize what is happening, and in its final moments, it turns towards her and surges forth, its entire body extending out as its maw gapes open, and then it just explodes into a pile of bony confetti.
Nice.
I knew I had that spell for a reason.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, so much for him. He's dead.
All right.
Sada,
And she-
it's your turn.
All right.
she's flying
Sada.
also.
Sada.
She'll
Sada
move.
charges.
Oh, okay. Asai, where do you move?
She's just gonna fly so that her like weird aura thing is. She'll fly like above Pascal.
Okay.
Go up there.
Good idea.
Sada charges.
Okay. Also, something that we've been ignoring. Sada, first heal 3 HP.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Sorry, quick healing for particle form.
there we go.
Okay, you charge.
And I attack. Man. Gonna turn on power attack for this. Kerblam. How's that do against this AC? No! I use Ring of Dueling Dragons.
All right, roll.
Alright. Oh, come on. No! My moment. It's been taken from me.
Sada, you rush towards the final sepulchral vizier, and you bring your sword down. You can see your victory, but even as you prepare to pass through his body, he just floats back just enough to avoid it. You activate the Bring of the Dueling Dragons, pulling up with a backswing, only to have it deflected by one of his 4 hands conjuring a dark shield. And oh look, it's his turn.
Oh no. And then disappears
And
so I can resummon them later.
As he deflects the second blow, the cool mist pours from his mouth, and you see the lipless mouth behind the mask move to say, "Die, Ryudo!"
Oh shit.
As his 4 arms reach down for you, his fingers crackling with dark energies. Your touch AC is a 19.
Yes.
Okay. Where is his sheet? There it is. Good. Oh. Just noticed that I made a math mistake. Anyway. Oh! Well, the first one, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh no.
Luckily, you can't be crit, but it does hit you. The second
Okay.
one, I rolled a natural 19.
Oh no.
Natural.
The
Huh.
third one, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
And the last one, I rolled a natural 12, but he has a plus 18 to his attack roll, so that's a 30.
I see.
Wow. Oops. Oh shit.
Just so you guys know,
Real chance Sada could die right now.
Yeah.
no. Remember, you are immune to critical hits.
That's right.
Yeah.
Particle form.
So
Yeah.
particle form, actually, if I don't believe the Sepulchral Vizier really has a realistic, does not have a chance actually, because his attacks don't do damage. Rather, they inflict negative levels. Sada, you take 4 negative levels as all 4 of his attacks hit.
Ah, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I'm now at
Well,
minus
well-
6.
We'll get you taken care of.
Yeah, Sada,
Um,
the sepulchral vizier grabs onto your shoulders and lower arms with all four of his hands. He is not especially strong, but stronger than you think, than the average man. But beyond the physical strength of his bony fingers, you feel drained. Your life force seeping out through your very skin into the negatively bound form of the sepulchral vizier, like water leaching through a bag. You feel very bad
Yeah,
at the end of this, but you're not dead, importantly.
that's good.
Kasumi, it is your turn.
Okay, hang on.
Damn it, this was supposed to be my epic cool moment, but I beefed it. I beefed it!
Oh, you survived.
Some days you beat it.
You survived literally. Like if you were not prepped, you would have been dead.
No, I mean, that wasn't, it didn't do damage, it was just negative, it's negative levels.
Oh yeah.
But it could have been 2 extra negative levels.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could have been a worse situation.
Could be worse. Could be raining.
Could be.
So, Kazumi is going to jet over and let's see. I don't have access to her the thing we had set up with her burn anymore. Okay. Let's see. I already know she does have 5 points of burn because she used the extended range, and then previously she used the water form or
That's
clone.
80 wimpy damage.
Okay.
Non-lethal.
So
There we go.
okay. So I am going. I'm going to extended range maximize fire blast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So I also have the what should we call it? I think it's get down to where it is. I have the infusion, or sorry, it's a wild talent. Fire's Fury. When using Fire Blast or Composite Blast, include fire, add your Elemental Overflow bonus to the damage dealt.
Yes.
So
Basically, your elemental overflow bonus doubles when you're using a fire blast.
Yes.
That's why fire damage is good for damage.
Yes.
Appropriately.
Okay. So let's roll the attack, and then. So right now I am at +8 on my range damage, so it's actually going to be a +16.
Cool.
For the blast or the overflow portion.
Oh.
So fire blast. Glad I rolled fire because touch. So
Yep, that does hit his touch AC. It does hit his touch AC.
So
7
it is-
times 6 is 42. Plus 9. Oh, wait. Plus 9 plus an additional 8, so plus 17. So that is 59 damage.
And
And?
I
There's
am
more?
going to use Meta Magic Swift Extended Range.
What does that do?
It's swift. It allows me to cast a blast as a swift action, and
Oh!
and extended range.
Blast that! Blast!
Okay. So that's
Just
another
standard damage.
40 damage because of the additional plus 8.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's 59 plus 40. That is 99 damage. And he does not resist fire. So yeah, you blast him twice, covering him in fire. The sepulchral vizier makes no noise. It does not cry out in pain, even as The flames burn apart its horrible body. Its innards, its bones, its decayed flesh exposed as its rotting clothes are burnt away, but at the end it still remains on this plane, still clutching Sadaryudo, still draining her of her very life.
I wish it was Batbire's turn right now.
It is in fact Palina's turn.
Might this bitch!
Okay.
Freaking fly the heck over there and kick him in the dick! I'm gonna put the buff on this time.
That put me at 106.
Fucking hands off her.
Alright. Your flying attack, he actually dodges out of the way of your flying kick, but he does not. Oh my goodness. Okay, he had 22 hit points left. What do you do to him?
I freaking. I don't know. I don't even know.
Ooh, read up.
Yeah?
Alright.
So imagine, because all this happens relatively simultaneously. It's D&D rules,
Yeah.
you know.
It's incredibly fast.
So I'm firing off just two big ass blasts,
yeah.
both hands, and you like cut through it with like a blade of like a fisty blade of electricity as you just fucking clock him in the face, like caving his skull in.
Dude.
You punch him
We are the
directly in his face, and with a satisfying ripping noise, his head pops off of his shoulders, sailing backwards into the golden dome, and where it strikes upon it, it lights a flame and immediately is burnt away into golden ashes.
Fuck yeah.
The rest of his body quickly collapses in on itself, crumpling and disappearing entirely. The sepulchre, the Tribunal of Arrogance, has once more been felled by your hands.
But this time it's all three of them.
Hell yeah.
Humiliating.
Hal gives Kasumi a thumbs up, but there's like a little lightning sparkle that is on it. Nice.
Kasumi also returns the thumbs up with a little fire thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I kind of land to the ground and then accidentally sear this nice carpet.
Sada pukes.
No. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Batbire immediately
Sada,
rushes
you don't
over
look
and just like.
Yeah.
I've got some. I could do a cleric thing on you.
I also
Wow.
wait.
Hal's got a thing that can do that. I think.
Hang on. Can I use? I know I have kinetic restoration. Can I?
Yeah, I got something helpful.
The light emitting from the woman on the throne seems to intensify even as the dome contracts. The remaining monks open their eyes, each of them glowing with the same light, although as the dome passes past them, it extinguishes in their serene gaze, until finally it contracts into the woman, and she becomes a glow, the brilliant gold herself, as her form seems to change into another's.
Oh,
It's
The
another.
who's?
If we find the dragon.
It's gonna be a dragon.
The remaining monks turn to her and bow low as she somewhat unsteadily gets to her feet. She goes to each of them in turn, speaking to them quietly, before looking past towards your assembled party. I am Feng Wu,
oh
the
shit!
dragon of the east, and
It's
I
you.
owe you a debt, heroes. Thank you for rescuing me in a moment of vulnerability.
The one T Dunn was looking for you.
Kasumi's gonna bow a little bit.
And then I bet.
Logan's is gonna land.
At the mention of Durante done, actually, roll sense motive, please, or
okay.
perception would be better.
Perception. All right.
Hey, that rolled really good.
There's a pretty big distance between you right now still. But it is noticeable. At the mention of her brother, you do see the one corner of her mouth like pull down very slightly. Before she intones, "My brother's interest in my well-being is greatly appreciated. Is he the one who sent you here?"
No, we came ourselves. I didn't realize you were here, actually.
What brought you to this place? And who do I have to thank for my rescue?
I am Sato Ryudo, Daimyo of Surugu. We came on behalf of the Daimyo of what's the island called again, Sals? My brains. Takashima.
The dragon nods. Yes. I have heard of you. You are the one that has raised in rebellion against the Shogun. Oh, you know.
Yes.
Word of your exploits have reached my ears, though I have tried to keep them closed to news of the civil strife. It is ordinarily not my place to interfere in such things. Though in this case, it has interfered with me first. I am the Dragon of the East. But for now, she looks at her hand, I am as human as you. For the time being. For the foreseeable future.
Huh?
What?
What happened?
Some months ago, as I lay in council with my eldest children, an unknown assailant came upon us with the pipes of Ken. Ken's pipes were a tool developed long ago for dealing with dragons by you smaller folk. They have the power to put dragons to sleep. I proved to not be immune to this power. And whilst I entered into my sonorous state, I sensed something dreadful happening to my body. Realizing that I was being attacked, I cast myself into my astral form in an attempt to investigate, and found that my soul would soon be bound to my corpus, but not to the bonds of life. I was being forcibly transformed into an undead.
Logan, hearing that, is going to flinch.
To be in such a state would mean that I would be ruled by one willing to do such a thing, which was not something I could stand. Throwing my consciousness out into the astral sea, I searched increasingly desperately for any place to be a safe harbor for my consciousness. And in the mind of my friend, Yamaji-jun, I found one. He brought his monks together, and together they were able to form a full connection to bridge my body to his. And so my soul traveled from my dead form to his living one. The transformation was time-consuming and energy-consuming. And apparently during as it was being undertaken, my enemy sent agents, whom you have now slain, to thwart it. Thank you for making Yamaji Jun's sacrifice not in vain.
So what happened to your original body?
I have
Do they
no idea.
Still have it? Okay.
I presume
Jeez.
That's
it was
good.
not destroyed. Though it does not have my soul within it,
Yeah.
that does not mean that
I mean, a body of a great dragon like yourself wouldn't still be dangerous if they controlled it.
precisely. As awful as it is to think of myself as a slowly decaying zombie, awfuler still would be the idea that my body might be possessed by another intelligence.
What about the rest of the ivory dragons?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have been insensate for months. But from what I can feel, I think something quite terrible has happened to my family.
Yes.
Oh.
I know Dante Dunn wasn't able to find any, so only one he found was the one that's still on our island.
Madamura,
Yes.
good. It would be him. Was he unable to find any in mainland T, or did he only take for Hadano?
I think he only checked Hadano. Right, Sal's? If I'm remembering.
Good. That is true.
Okay.
Good. Then there is some hope, at least. Many still live in the mountains there.
Oh, also, I guess I should tell you this now. I am technically... Dwunti Don is my many times great grandfather. Which I guess that also makes you my... Okay.
I am your great, etc. aunt.
Yes.
This will not be a revelation to those such as myself or your great-grandfather.
Oh yeah, it'd be there. At all times.
Is that skeleton still standing there, the illusion? Or did the illusion disappear?
Illusion... Yeah, actually it is. They're timed. So,
Program. Oh.
yeah, you can see the illusions are occasionally going through motions.
It's just
Well,
kind of
Don's
back there going, "Nah."
Well, Don's just gonna like take his little staff and just poke it a little, just like.
It reacts. It was programmed to react to attacks. So it reacts like melodramatically when you hit it.
It's just gonna walk up and pat it, just like.
Good. Not really.
It reacts like you attacked it again with the same sort of melodramatic response.
It's just gonna keep it, air quotes, attacking it until it falls off the edge.
it doesn't move from its spot. It just keeps.
Just melodramatically acting.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm a street performer. This must be funny. Just gonna roll performance with this, or just roll a. Hold on. Just gonna try and do things in time with it. He's bored. Like they're having a big conversation way over there. So like.
Yes. You know what? Yes. You go into a Moe and Curly slapstick routine of just.
There we go. Entertainer.
Well, you are very short
like
compared to it.
Yeah, so this is the first time when he
Yeah, you haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good. I mean, 17 isn't bad. So yeah, you're just like stepping on his foot, slapping in his face, poking him in the eyes or the blindfold.
Street magic.
Eventually it goes woo.
Wow.
He's just having a good time with it.
And
So is this sepulchral vizier one also here? That's such a weird word to say.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
it's doing the exact same thing, just messing with them. So
Your friend seems very fond of the illusions of the sepulchral viziers.
Yeah.
Such is life, with its many.
Whenever will I get a chance again to play around with the illusion of a really douchey asshat?
What is a
Douche.
douche? I also do not know what that means.
Dragon of the East. Typically, some people have some sort of decorum around me.
no. He's saying that just kind of to himself, to Batbite, because obviously he's not over there shouting, because that's a really long way to shout.
True, fair.
It's like, what is that like?
Yeah, it's like 60. You're like 60 feet away.
No, he's like 150 feet away.
No.
Oh wait,
She moved down. Yeah,
she
she's
has
90
moved
feet away.
closer.
Okay, so you're 90 feet away. So it's just like kind of muttering. He's like, "What am I gonna get?"
Yeah, she's not paying too close attention, I don't think, anyway.
But how long have you been? Or I guess I'm not sure how long. It's been a few months, right? Almost.
It is difficult for me to say. I don't really know how long I have been this way. But I am at least safe for now. Though
Well, we would know roughly how long it's been, so we could just tell her, right? Since like the door's open and the mugs cloistered themselves and stuff, right?
yeah, that was a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She nods at the. Very well. Then I believe I have much work to do. My body, as you said, would be a powerful weapon in the hands of a evil person.
I'm not quite sure what the other temple will be up to with it.
The Elder Temple.
Yeah. That's who those guys were with, Sir Turksey specifically. We've been dealing... Well, we dealt with those guys before specifically, but we've been dealing with the Elder Temple.
I had thought
commonly
that their new leaf was too good to be true. Foolish of me not to have investigated it myself.
Yeah.
More foolish still to have been caught off guard like this.
They've been getting bolder and bolder, I would say, recently. They attacked my brain.
That other island.
Yeah.
But also Tomb's brain.
Not Bungo.
Kansai.
Kansai. I knew it started with a K. My brain couldn't. Yeah. I was going to think of Kashima, but no, that's the current line is Takashima, so it would be Kashima. Kansai. They attacked Kansai's capital a little bit ago. With that, I believe it was a distraction for us to stop us from getting to them.
I see.
They attacked the capital with a horde of undead. while they escaped.
And this is perhaps a threat greater than that the Shogun has posed. We can no longer afford not to intervene. I must meet with my siblings and with the Emperor. Tell me, since you are in rebellion against the Shogun, surely you must be on impeccable terms with T.
Right.
We are planning. I mean, I'm not. Okay, out of character. I'm saying this to remind. We are planning to go and to meet with them and discuss diplomatic.
Yes.
You know,
with
possible
Daunty done.
alliance.
Yeah.
But currently, it's tentative.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we've got people. That ambassador guy hanging out with Sada, giving lessons and whatnot. Like,
we could also be honest and just say like we haven't had a chance to have a true sit-down meeting with them.
Hella busy. Yeah.
Akio just says no.
We haven't really had a chance to really sit down with T.
Akio has said no.
Yeah.
And Akio has said no. Yes.
Wow.
Fengwu looks past Usada towards Akio and then looks back to you a little confused. I am getting somewhat mixed signals.
Akio does like a deep bow and out of respect because he has now like he's just another dragon, huh? Okay, cool. To clear the I don't want to use the word confusion, but to clear what is essentially the issue at hand, the steps to creating that diplomatic conversation has not happened yet. So the relationship between our two kingdoms is not necessarily what you would consider friendly.
It's a tentative.
I mean, it's not really. It's more like they don't really.
Non-existent.
Don't typically.
No, that's not true.
Negotiate such a relationship.
I don't want to be openly hostile to T, but we don't necessarily want to have things go back to the way they were before the Shogun.
Ah.
Yes.
You desire independence as well, just peacefully granted rather than forcibly taken.
We plan to go with Daunty Dun there to hopefully discuss more with T now that we've been pushing against the Shogun more, but that hasn't come up yet.
Is Daunty Dun with you?
Yes.
Well, he's at our island, but not.
Oh, he's not. Yeah, he is on our island, and he is with us in this regard.
I appreciate the answer to both questions. I shall speak to my brother first. Kindly take me to him.
Of course, I was going to ask if you wanted to come with us, if you didn't have any other way to... Well, yeah, I'm not sure exactly the extent of your power right now, but yeah.
Very, very limited.
God damn it, Jake!
What?
What?
What did I do?
What happened?
I rolled sense motive is what happened.
Oh.
You put stinky.
I just wanted to know if she's being cool or maybe if all it's bullshit and her soul is actually evil and she's evil. But now it's stinky, so never mind. Never mind, it's all dumb.
How do the monks fare? Will they be all right? Is there anything we can help with?
Pow, you do not have any cause to distrust.
Yeah.
But also stinky.
Also stinky. She hasn't taken a bath in months.
Yet she smells fine.
I don't even know where that. Yeah, it's here. Oh, okay.
Uh,
The monks in this temple obviously are somewhat denuded in number, but there are many other minor monasteries besides this one.
Okay.
And the monks will have to choose a new leader in this for themselves, but I should think that after this you may find them very helpful to your cause. Understand that I am not necessarily hostile to it either.
Okay. But yes, I guess yeah, we have one of the village people waiting for us outside the monastery for the ride back down. So
The construction worker or the policeman?
the elder, right? Elder guy. I forgot his name.
The hetman.
Yeah, hetman.
Yeah, the village elder, essentially.
Yeah.
all right. What was my fake name again?
So yeah, we
Oh
can
yeah,
hopefully
fuck yeah.
hopefully we can
I
inform
do
him that the monastery problem's been cleared up, and hopefully the monks can get back in contact with everyone again.
Understood. Can your centaur friend fit on a boat? He is very large.
He's good.
Oh,
Yeah.
check this out.
He's got a magic amulet.
Pathfinder gets incredibly excited because he loves doing this now, and quickly pulls his pendant out, and he realizes that he's going to do this in front of a dragon, and it's not going to be really that impressive, but he does it anyways. 36.
Oh.
Hopefully, it doesn't turn into one of the.
Scorpion, let's go!
Unfortunately, it is something that you've seen before. You turn back into an ebon-skinned elf
Oh.
Oh yeah, that
Of-
one again.
extremely
Oh.
beefy proportions.
Oh, hey,
Ah.
since you're a dragon, do you know what those? You know what that is?
She appears it appears to be an elf, although his skin color is an unusual pigment, but I don't think it would be potentially totally unheard of. I'm not sure. I am not an expert on elves.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen that. We've also seen
His
him
ears
transform.
look somewhat different.
We've seen him transform into something like that before, but the bottom half was like a scorpion or a spider, as well.
That's
It's
very
weird.
strange
Yeah.
and a little freaky.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
I've tried asking the elves of Emberyllium as well, but they also have no clue. So yeah, I have no clue what the deal is. But hey, he can fit on the boat though. So that's all that matters, right, Bat Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
I love
Let us
showing
then be
off.
off. There may be very little time to waste. If it is all the same to you all, I would like to move to make our way to your island immediately.
Yes.
Unless you are a little drained from your experience. She looks at you,
certainly, yes,
Dada,
I certainly am.
as your shoulders are like drooped down and your skin has turned into a deathly pallor. Your eyes are sunken with great shadows beneath them. Your cheeks are sunken in.
Mm.
Well, the sepulchral viziers disappeared back to their home plane, and amongst the bones are unfortunately just bones. And the bones previously had been the bones of monks who live a fairly ascetic lifestyle. So unfortunately, there are not especially many riches here. But on the bright side, you do know that you have secured the loyalty of Takashima. And apparently, the Hueson No order which will be useful for yourselves, as you can now raise units of Wason No warrior monks for your
Hell
army.
yeah. Cool. How far away is the island again, Cells? I mean, Takashima, the main island?
Well, let me show you.
Alright.
As you begin to make your way back to the village, the hetman going, "Wowee, I heard a lot of fighting from up there."
Yeah. The monks are good now. Mostly.
Suruga, as you can see, is actually right nearby.
I meant Takashima specifically.
Yeah,
I want
Takashima
those-
is right
yeah.
next to Suruga.
Yeah. Because, we'll probably take a day, right? I want to go back to the daimyo and give them the good news, at least.
Be wise.
Yeah. Then we can hopefully rest there, and I can get rid of all these negative levels.
The trip back to the village is much faster. You going with the water.
Yeah.
Although Sada, you just don't feel like paddling at all. And after going down the 200 steps back down and still paddling along the lengthy river length.
Yeah, I was joking that I was just gonna throw myself down the stairs, but I actually do now.
Even those of you with endurance, and actually the Nebans have both endurance and desert runner. But yeah, even Pascal and Paulina are pretty done for the day by the time that you get back to the village. And make your way back to the sky skiff and fly your way back to the Yuma clan's castle in Sego. The daimyo of Takashima receives you very quickly, though it is very late and you are all truly exhausted by the time that you are in his presence. You have returned much more quickly than I expected. Am I to take it that you succeed?
Yeah.
You succeeded, rather?
The monks are now safe.
They were being assailed for 2 months.
Yeah.
They survived, though?
A number of them.
Yeah, a number of them did not.
Yeah. They're
a greater number by the look of it, I think.
Deeply unfortunate. And Yamaji Jun?
I guess I'll leave that to our new guest.
Feng Wu explains to Daimyo Yuma the situation. He is somewhat astonished, but nods as she continues. I understand. Well, Lady Ryudo, by the nature of our agreement, I swear Takashima's allegiance to Surugu.
Oh. I thank you. I say, as I'm nearly passing out. But also,
very unwell.
Yes, these things kept draining me over and over again.
That's
weird. And I guess we should explain to you exactly who was assailing the monks. And I guess I should make sure quick, but how much sway does the Elder Temple have here on Takashima?
The Elder Temple has become the state religion of Hadano. They have temples here, but Takashima has always been more aligned with the monks' secular lifestyle than with any particular religious group.
Okay.
There are some shrines here, but I do not think they have an especially large presence.
Okay. Because it was agents of Soturxes that were attacking the monks, part of the Elder Temple.
After some more explanation from the dragon, Daimyo Yuma, the Elder Clerics will be rounded up, and I will find out what they know.
And I don't know if you heard about what happened on Kansai, but they are also behind that as well. So
I have heard tales of the disaster on Kansai. I will ensure that such a thing does not happen on my island.
Yeah,
Especially
just be
with the
careful.
monks in such a weakened state. You look as if you could use a rest.
Yes, very much so.
The refurbished rooms are ready.
Thank you.
Bring them to the West Wing. The West Wing is much nicer than the East Wing, which is saying something because the East Wing is still pretty nice.
Hell yeah.
And thus you are able to finally rest after the long and eventful and violent day.
Pretty sick,
Now,
though.
with the allegiance of a new island and the friendship of a erstwhile dragon who sits in the corner of the chamber, staring out over you, unsleeping and blinking, her ivory white eyes peering into the moonlit darkness. And that's the end of our show for tonight, guys.
All right.
That
it is
rules.
Could have gone better.
Yeah.
That was so much
I'm
fun.
glad I remember the storm lure.
That
I-
is so
Really, it's
cool.
Yeah.
That was really good timing.
Clutch.
I'm sorry that Leica missed this session.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
Yeah,
I had a great time too.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to listen back to it because man, Bone Shatter is the best spell. It's my new favorite spell that exists.
I will-
Shatters
It
your
is.
bones.
Try to remember to
It is
get all
very
the
cool.
sessions cut up this week, hopefully.
I've
I've been lazing on it. I've had a few
Slacking.
uploaded for a while, but
It feels really good to fucking like do a bunch of bullshit with Kasumi. Like
hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
I it's like, okay, this is probably the last turn. I'm just gonna do everything possible that I can.
And you did.
And it rolled.
And hopefully it'll be a hot minute before we see the Viziers again, since there's not one some in the back,
Oh.
but we'll see.
Yeah.
Those three guys.
I'm sure we'll have to worry about the bells potentially bringing them back though. She's still around, right? Yeah, she's still around. We saw her slurp off again.
She slurped?
Yeah, she slurped off after
Ah,
we killed her last time.
slurped.
Yeah, more or less. That is what
Yeah.
she did.
Damn. Learning more and more about this item. It's slurping. Wow.
And yeah. So until next week, when you must deal
Family reunion.
with a family reunion.
Yes.
With
And then I guess T is actually
So
the next
cool.
step, isn't it? Because now that we have most of the north side.
Yeah, we have secured the Northern Archipelago. Like,
Yeah.
You have. And now you must secure your independence.
Mm.
I will try to make it maybe, but as I said, I will probably be off because of my birthday
Okay.
Okay.
for next week.
Happy birthday. Well, actually, I'll wish you it closer to the actual birthday, but
Thank you.
yeah,
I'll do both.
Yeah.
perfectly understandable. And yeah. Jack, it was great to hear from you, and I'm glad that you got to play tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
It was fun.
you did a lot today.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I forget, how do I get rid of negative levels?
These are temporary, and they only they will fall away before they become permanent. So don't worry about it.
Nice.
Okay.
Or
So
you could just regrind them.
Sorry, Jack.
You're gonna go to the.
Nuva, shut up for a second, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Jack.
What I was going to ask is, if I had something I want to do with Logan during our downtime, is that something I can just talk about, like in DMs or something? Or
Yeah.
All right.
DMs or here or wherever.
Okay, cool. So how much downtime do we have, like, between now and the next mission, like, canonically?
I am not sure.
Now and the next session?
Mm-hmm.
Because now the next session will just be probably like a day or so, right?
Like a day? Yeah.
I don't know how long before we do the next big thing, though.
All I need is a day, because I still have my 8th level spells, so.
So a day to maybe a little bit longer. I'll let DM me during the week. I'll let you know how long you will have before I let the party know, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because the spells themselves just have a casting time of a standard action, so like, this is just something you would have been working on before, so I just haven't been around to be able to tell you when we had downtime.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Also, you do have a couple of things. You have a couple of other irons in the fire. What with your impending soul owing to Xerxes, also maybe someone else.
The letters to his various friends and such, and
those two.
I never got the amount of spells I was supposed to get, or you said he would learn from the tower, so I've just been kind of like withholding, not adding them, because I didn't know how many I was supposed to add.
Yeah, I wasn't really quite sure, so just add
50.
Jesus.
50, yeah.
75?
Of each spell school.
Okay, so the wizard in question was a lower level than you are now. So basically add 10 spells to your repertoire of 7th level or less.
7th level or less. Okay, so 10. Got it. Awesome. And I will make a note of that. So. Cool. All right. This is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm glad you got to participate.
Yes.
Until next time, everybody.
Until next
time.